Morning team, I have a real treat for you. British animal welfare advocate Jill Robinson has spent her life fighting for the rights of animals, in particular bears in Asia. She's one of the world's leading experts on the cruel practice of bear bile farming. She works tirelessly to see it banned across Asia. We're lucky enough to have her in Australia, and I'm lucky enough to have her in the studio. A very good morning to you, Jill.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. Your work is so incredibly important. First of all, for those that might not know about the bear bile industry, what is it?
It's a practice where thousands of bears across Asia are caged in tiny wire cages for their entire life, often up to 3 decades, 30 years, which is their lifespan, and they are extracted of their bile from their gallbladders that's used in traditional Asian medicine. It's an activity that has been long going since about the 80s, but it's also a practice that is entirely unnecessary because there are herbs and there are synthetics to take the place of bear bile.
Right. So what is it that you do in your advocacy and rescue work?
Yeah, well, gosh, since I first walked onto a bear bile farm in 1993, we've been obviously fighting to end the industry, and I founded Animals Asia in 1998, and since then we've created 3 sanctuaries, 1 in China, 2 in Vietnam. We've rescued nearly 700 bears from this industry, and we've got a deal now, a memorandum of understanding with the Vietnam government, a very formal agreement to end bear bile farming there by the year 2026.
Oh, congratulations. I mean, that's 20 odd years of hard graft.
Yeah.
So
more actually, 26 years with the foundation.
With the foundation. But yeah, longer, and because you actually started with animal advocacy and welfare before that with, well, I think probably most of our favourite animal, puppies.
Oh, right. Well, we work on many issues with Animals Asia, so we've got great programmes in China and in Vietnam and Hong Kong. One of them is Dog to Dog, where we've got dogs going into hospitals and disabled centres, and dogs going to schools to help teach children to enhance their reading capacity. It's basically to calm people down with a beautiful presence of dogs, so...
But look, I am also an advocate for a dog, always. I want to know about the work that you're doing in Asia. How important is animal welfare currently? Where are they moving? Yeah,
it's so fundamental, Nate. You're right. It's inspiring to be working there now. When I first started in China, there was 1 animal welfare group, and now there's over 600 animal welfare groups. These are passionate, informed, intelligent groups that are really getting the job done in terms of upping the issue of the complexities of animal welfare and animal cruelty. And it's working with people like the traditional medicine community. So in Vietnam, for example, there's some 70,000 doctors that are represented through our collaboration, where they've promised to stop prescribing, stop selling bear bile forever now. Right. And so that sort of equates with the government memorandum to end bear bile farming, and the local community as well, working with schools to help grow the herbal alternatives. We're working with a business group to produce the bear balm, the alternative that people can just rub on their hands and their limbs for bruising and things, and just showing the community that these alternatives exist, so that even though bear farming is going to end, it needs to stay ended as well. Yeah,
right, because the last thing you want to do is drive it into a black market sort of situation.
Exactly, and just show the community that these alternatives exist, so that they're very happy to trial it. And we've done surveys, and they've come back and said that actually the community believes the substitutes are as good as or even better than bear bile. So it's just this holistic approach that Animals Asia takes to really bring it totally and finally to an end, and without embarrassment, by the way, to the farmers as well.
Yeah, of course. You have to be culturally sensitive.
We do, and no one wants to be told off, no one wants to be humiliated, and they're not going to give up their bears so easily if they're, almost feeling they've got to retire into a corner. So it's actually thanking them for having the integrity of giving up their bears, despite what we might feel inside, upset of how the bears have been treated, because it's so cruel. But at the end of the day, they're going to give up their bears more readily if they're treated kindly.
I'm so glad that it's you that's looking after these poor bears that just need some love so much. Why do we need to continue advocacy? I mean, especially, I think about a climate changed future. and the difficulties that are going on for the bears out in the wild as well. Is that something we should be considering?
Oh gosh, well, they're Appendix 1 endangered species, Nate. You're entirely right. So the protection of them is absolutely critical now. And of course, bear farming is one of the things that's actually taking them from the wild. You know, in Vietnam, 100% of them, because there's no breeding on farms at all. So every bear is coming from the wild and depleting the population, of course, as well. There's probably less than 100 existing in the wild. So we've got a lot of work to do to not just end bear farming, but now increase their populations. And the Vietnam government are so fully on it. That's the most wonderful thing of all. They're so sincere. You know, we've joined them in press conferences to announce publicly and internationally bile farming is done with Animals Asia.
You are obviously working hard, and you have been for a long time. You also advocate for women leading in charities, and it's the week of International Women's Day later on this week. Talk to me about women at the top of charities.
Oh, bless. Well, I've been actually sponsored here by the amazing Adventure World Travel, so to come to Australia and New Zealand. And we're joining a Force for Good event soon, and that obviously is talking about, you know, gender equality and diversity. And in Animals Asia, we've been doing exactly the same at our Vietnam sanctuary. And indeed across the organisation, you know, what is a woman's job, what is a man's job, having people to apply for jobs across the board to see sustainability, you know, not to disadvantage men, of course, but just to see an equal platform, you know. So we've got our horticulture team. Now it's got women in, you know, lifting, you know, heavy logs and things for enrichment for the bears. We've got our nutritional team that has men working in that team, you know. So it's just across the board, just having equity and equality.
Thank you so much for the work you do, and thank you for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thank you. And I've got a little gift. I don't know if you remember the Burt Reynolds pose on a bearskin rug many years ago.
You're not about to get in trouble, are you?
I'm not. One of our bears, Hector, did the most amazing similar pose, but much better. That's for you, Nate.
Oh, that's brilliant, Jill. Thank you so much. Oh, get in, Hector. That's going straight to the pool room. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Team, really, really important work that Jill's doing. I'll keep you across this story as it develops further.
Ooh, wow, what a great photo.
Hector.
Hector, come on down. There he is.
He's a good-looking bear. He's a very good-looking bear.
bear.
I can